Hello everyone, my name is Roya, and today I'm going to be doing another Bookish Pet Peeves video. This is actually the third one that I've done, and the second one that I did got such a good response from you guys, so I decided to do another one because I've compiled a list of pet peeves I have in books that have not been mentioned in either of my Bookish Pet Peeves video yet, so let's just get started. The first pet peeve that I'm going to tell you about today is cheating in YA novels, because a lot of people end up cheating on their significant others in books for some reason when it's not a significant plot point, it's not needed, nothing like that, and it honestly makes me a little bit uncomfortable for some reason. So a good example of this is Anna in the French Kiss, where at the very end the dude cheats on his girlfriend with Anna, and it's like, dude, you couldn't have waited? Like, you were gonna break up with her anyway, like, come on. Or in Vampire Academy, in the very last book, there's some cheating that goes on that also really is not needed. It's not a significant plot point at all. If you've read the whole series, you know what I'm talking about. There's, like, no reason why, the person who is doing the cheating couldn't just break up with the person that they are with before this happened. All of that stuff, or just, you know, waited until a good time to break up with that person. Like, there's no reason for it at all, and it doesn't make any sense. Another pet peeve that I have is fantasy versions of paganism. So I am pagan. I don't think that's any secret for those of you guys who watch this channel. But obviously a lot of books that are kind of in like the magical realism realm will come up with a really weird magic system that is supposed to be paganism, but it totally isn't. I can't come up with any very good examples because as soon as I sniff that out in a book, I DNF that book like right away. So I haven't, can you guys hear the dogs fighting back there? Like, that's insane. And I haven't run into this pet peeve lately. But basically it's the kind of thing that Buffy the Vampire Slayer did, where like they have this entire magic system that is actually supposed to be Wicca, but it's completely not. It's like really fantasized. So they're making up all kinds of stuff, which like makes absolutely no sense. And I'm like, dude, no, come on. So basically, if you want to read some books that accurately portray paganism, you should check out Silver Ravenwolf or Kate Tiernan. I think they both are pagan authors. At least Silver Ravenwolf for sure is. Not just because of her name, but because look up anything about her and all these articles about paganism will come up. Another huge pet peeve of mine is when villains try to take over the kingdom and it's never really explained why, like what they're trying to accomplish by taking over the kingdom, or what specifically they want to change that can't be improved upon under the current ruler, or whatever. I feel like we just get so many people who just want to rule the kingdom just because they want power or something. One of my favorite animes makes fun of this trope. It's an episode of Slayers where there is actually a brother of the ruler who's trying to take the kingdom over from the ruler, and then the good guys ask him, like, well, what are you trying to do? Like, why are you trying to take over the kingdom? And then he just goes, oh, I hadn't really thought about that. I just wanted to rule and stuff. And, and I cracked up at that because it's true. So many like books and movies and everything kind of just have somebody trying to take over the kingdom for absolutely no reason, and it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. And I feel like so many like fantasy books that are set in like a medieval-esque world do that. Whenever they have like somebody who's trying to take over the kingdom, it's always someone who doesn't actually have any sort of intent. They just want power, and it gets really old. Another bookish pet peeve that I have is when someone either loses their memory or is like hypnotized into doing a certain thing, and then when they wake up, they can't remember anything that happened while their memory was gone. So I kind of feel like, dude, where's the whole, hey, fuck you for taking advantage of me while I had no memory, or hey, why did I do this while I didn't have my memory, or whatever it is. Like, a pet peeve of mine is the stereotypical, like, tough chick who fights better than everyone else, and all that stuff. And I mean, that might sound ironic to you because if you guys have been watching my videos for a while, you probably know that one of my favorite things to read about is badass warrior chicks who fight well and all this stuff, but the thing is, there's a difference between a badass warrior chick and just, like, the girl who happens to be, like, the best fighter out of everybody. Because a badass warrior chick doesn't necessarily have to resort to saying, hey, I'm the best fighter out of everybody, or resort to anybody, or encouraging that title from anybody. So, I mean, I ended up reading a lot of books that, kind of all in a row, that had somebody who was, like, the best fighter out of everybody, even though she's, like, the only girl, and blah, 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 blah. And it just gets really old and really tired. One example of this is Defy by Sarah B. Larson, and that was just, like, I was just really bored of hearing about how good of a fighter she was from, like, page one. Actually, it was kind of ridiculous. And that story didn't do anything but, like, play that up by having her be the only female character who could fight. And really the only female character, really, at all. And whenever other women do show up, they're portrayed as being, like, really defenseless and all of this stuff, and I'm like, dude, we don't need to hear about how you're, like, the best fighter and blah de blah. Like, come on. And so that's one reason why I really loved The Valiant, is that, like, that we do have a badass warrior chick, but she's by no means the best fighter, but she makes the best of what she can do, and that's why she wins, and that's why she succeeds. And that's the kind of book that I really appreciate for having awesome chicks who can fight. You don't have to be the best fighter of the bunch, you just have to, like, be awesome. And the last bookish pet peeve that I'm going to talk about with you guys today in this video is the magic systems that are just not explained. So sometimes in a book you will get magic, and sometimes it just won't have clearly defined limits, and so when people get out of situations by using magic to do something that hadn't been done with it so far in the book, it comes across as a convenient plot device. And then the same can kind of be said as well of, like, technology in a sci-fi book. Sometimes advanced technology will come out of nowhere, and you kind of go, hey, we haven't seen that so far in this book. Why are they using it now to get out of this situation? And one example in particular that really sort of drove this point home for me was The Potion Diaries by Amy Alward. And in this book, basically, we get this alchemy system where the whole goal in this book is to make a potion. And it's never explained how they know what ingredient to look for next, because the whole book is about them finding the different ingredients in different countries and all this other stuff, and it's like, well, how do you know that? And none of it is ever explained, and that frustrated me to no end. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what your most recently discovered bookish pet peeve is in the comments, and I will see you again very soon with a new video. Bye!